Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. It looks like Nintendo might be listening to feedback about their expansion pack. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, The Verge here had a bit of a Q&A with Nintendo America's president Doug Bowser. I'm going to leave a link to this article in the description below, and I do recommend checking it out. There's some interesting information in here. One of the questions Doug answered was on fan complaints about poor N64 emulation on the Switch. I'm kind of surprised he answered this one, but here is the answer. Don't get too excited. He says, we're constantly looking for ways to make our online features and those games better, and continuing to add value through more services and more games as we go forward. That was a really long sentence. We take the feedback very seriously, and we're continuing to look at ways to improve the overall performance. For us, it's about quality and great content at a great value. This really doesn't say a whole lot. The first line here is generic and tells us what we already know. I mean, Nintendo already issues updates on their system and their software, and that's pretty regular. And since the expansion pack service is pretty new, I would assume that they'd be updating that here and there as well. On top of that, they're issuing more games for it. We already knew this. Now, a lot of people are getting really excited about this second sentence, and I take a look at it and it's more or less generic like the first one. It's nothing to write home about. So they say, we take the feedback very seriously. I highly doubt that. I mean, look at the feedback they've been getting from Joycon drift and it still exists. Yes, they're repairing it, but partially because they're under warranty and partially because they have lawsuits against them, at least from my understanding. The second thing here, we're continuing to look at ways to improve the overall performance. That's exactly what they said in the first sentence. It's kind of regurgitating. And the last sentence here to me is just straight up BS. If you take a look at it here, for us it's about quality. Really? Your N64 emulation experience on the Switch is about quality. I highly doubt that. If you think that's quality, I really don't know what to tell you. And great content at a great value. Really, if you take a look at the price of the expansion pack, that is not great content at a great value. Great content, you can say, sure, if you want to split hairs, they are great games, but there aren't very many of them right now, and they're definitely not worth what they're charging, at least in my opinion. Now, if you think I'm a little off base for thinking Doug's statement was more or less BS, well, take a look at this statement here from Doug in the same interview. As we've gone through the first 5.5 years of the Nintendo Switch, it's been out for 5.5 years now, we've been making continuous improvements overall to the Joy-Con, including the analog stick. Really? The latest version, the Nintendo Switch OLED, has the same updated analog stick that's now available in the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch Lite. If I'm not mistaken, Nintendo engineers specifically said Joy-Con drift wouldn't be fixed, unless I'm missing something here. Literally a month ago, The Verge here, the same website, reports that Nintendo engineers suggest Joy-Con drift will never be fixed. So The Verge got this information from the Nintendo engineers from this Ask the Developer article on Nintendo's official website. This article came out on October 7th, so well over a month ago. And there is some common theming in here. It sounds very similar to Doug Bowser's words, and this was well before N64 emulation was on the Switch. So point number one, gaming consoles are destined to be continuously improved even after launch. That sounds familiar. And number four, continue working to create an even better gaming experience. That sounds really familiar. I mean, call me skeptical here, but I will believe it when I see it. At the end of the day here, I have a love-hate relationship with Nintendo. I love their games, I hate some of their business practices, and I'm only really this critical because I think they could be so much better if they actually listened or cared about their fans. I mean, with this expansion pack, if the price came down and the emulation quality really increased, it might be worth it, but they have a long ways to go. Anyways, that is all I've got for this video. Let me know in the comments below if you're with me here or if I'm a little bit off base. And let me know your thoughts about the expansion pack, the pricing, the emulation quality, and also if you think Nintendo is actually going to fix it. Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Thank you everyone, take care.